This rule will now be plain. When a planet has attained to so great age that she no longer gives forth light to heat or radiate upon herself, she cannot be seen in the heavens. Of which kinds of planets there are millions in the ethereal firmament. Some of these move slower than any of the planets man can see. Some of these at times eclipse the sun, and some are taken for sunspots, although perhaps not 1,000,000 miles from the earth. Like to these in darkness are the plateaux of nebulae floating in the firmament, which also produce eclipses of the sun and of the moon. For convenience, let such planets and such nebulae be called dead planets and dead nebulae, and that there are millions of such bodies sufficient to eclipse the sun or star or moon, the different periods of darkness on the earth will prove. Estimating the tendency of a planet's approach to death, refer once more to the moon. Now the moon has, as to Earth's force, no axial revolution, but it must be remembered the moon cannot go around the earth without making an actual axial revolution. 70½ revolutions of the moon's force complete one travel around the earth's force. Consequently, we arrive at the exact speed of the moon's power and the strength of light and heat manifested on the moon. You can make allowance for the moon's eclipse, for the light of the moon is much stronger, as seen from the earth, sometimes than others. Trace the prehistoric age at 99 degrees, the time of quickening animal life. It can be found that the moon at such period must have had an axial motion facing the earth of 3 4/7 times faster than the earth, whilst at the same period of time the earth made its daily revolution in now what would be 21 hours and 40 minutes. This would give a difference in animal heat of 2½ degrees of the power of the force on the earth as compared to the prehistoric age. Consequently, large animals which are now extinct, such as the dinosaurs, had a temperature on average of higher of 2½ degrees than at present, wherein we perceive 3 hours and 17 minutes loss in axial motion produced a loss of 2½ degrees of force heat. The difference, therefore, on the moon in temperature below blood heat and what it now must be must correspond exactly with its comparative slowness, 1 revolution a month, as to the loss manifested on the earth. Now, although I could discover the moon has fallen to a temperature far below zero, yet it emits both light and heat. To find the prehistoric age temperature, especially of man, place his temperature at 98 for good health and 102 at inflammation or death. 4 degrees below normal will therefore be the period of man's inhabitation of the earth. After the force radiation reaches this period, man will cease to propagate and so become extinct as to the earth. This gives man 8 degrees of the power of the force as to the sum of his existence. 1 degree is equivalent to 12,756,000 radii of the vortex of the force. The ancients would have said the serpent's coil would be 1 1/4, that is 24,000 times in years to the time of completion. Thus, 12,760,000 divided by 1,260,000, add 1,402 minus add 24,000 times 3 equals 76,750 years, the time of the prehistoric age for man. To this should be added one cycle of, say, 3,000 years, which is the beginning of the fall of the prehistoric slime. For reversing these measurements, find the axial decrease of the Earth in 78,000 years, which will be just on 100 minutes, or 3 to 340th of a second annually, which is the Earth's decline in rotation.